Welcome to a show about nothing.
And a little bit about everything.
Yes, it's a bittersweet day today to record,
Yes.
so we're going to start it off with paying our respects to Kobe Bryant and his family.
Yeah, that was devastating. It's still hard to deal with for a lot of people. I think it really hit home for, I think, all of us, right? We have families, we have children, we think about, that tomorrow is never promised to anyone, not even the richest people out there. And it's hard. I mean, every time I watch it, I actually kind of get emotional because
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the fact that his daughter was on it, or it was just because he was such a marvelous person. I think a lot of people learned a little bit more about him and what he really stood for after he retired from the NBA. But it's interesting because when I travel, I always leave my things in order, and I find that that's important because I never know if I'm coming back. And sometimes my children say, "Why do I talk like that?" And I don't talk like that because I think that that's going to be my last day of never returning home. But it's the what if, right? We never know what can happen when you leave your house. Maybe we can get hit by a car leaving here today. But I don't ever want that burden on my children to not know what to do if I don't ever make it home. So I always do that. And every morning, the kissing each other in the cheek and saying goodbye and I love you is important to me too.
Yes.
Because we don't know how much time we have left on this earth. And this is a really great example of loving each other and being kind to each other and, being grateful for the things that you have also in life, no matter how small, how big you have
Definitely,
things.
definitely. I mean, it gets you to think about just being grateful every day, every moment. I learned about the news, and what I did was I called my son and his dad because, since forever when my son, was growing up, that's all they did was, how they bonded was watching basketball, especially Jacob's dad being such a fan of the Lakers, since forever. I knew, I have to make that phone call and tell them how they were doing. And Jacob's dad was like, I'm lost for words.
Yeah.
He's so young, and, we never, of course, you never imagine such a tragic and, such a event, and it's like they did the helicopter ride, like nothing. It's like getting into a car every day.
That was his mode of transportation, right? Pretty much. Yes.
It's like, just tell everyone you love them and, be more grateful and minded of, tomorrow's not promised.
No, it's not. We were actually in the mall, and my sister-in-law showed me the text that my brother had sent her. I said, "Girl, that's a lie." Because you know how they make up this gossip, like George Clooney died 5 times, right?
Yes, yes.
So I was like, mm-mm. And then my son was there also with his girlfriend. Then he texted me, and it ended up being true because then the Washington Post was the one that we read it off of, and then we're like, that's a legit, right?
Yes.
News channel.
That ain't fake news.
That was exactly. And the other one came from a weird site. It was something that I'm not familiar with. So that was a complete bummer. And my son too. He just really admired him as well. And I just I wake up and I tend to wake up every morning like grateful. And I'm not going to say happy because we have our ups and downs.
Oh yeah.
But I do wake up a lot every day grateful. And I'm grateful for everything I have. The heat in my house, that when I wake up, my house is warm. So before I jump into the shower, I'm grateful for being able to kiss my son goodbye when he leaves to school. I'm grateful to be able to go to my office and work. I'm grateful for like a whole bunch of things. And that I believe I don't take for granted. Like that the mindset of being grateful and grateful for like the moments that I have with anyone and with whoever I'm surrounded by, right? Because it's what makes the world a better place. And I don't know if you saw my posting about how, everyone was kind of reflecting on this Kobe thing, but how important family is.
Yes.
Right? And sometimes, I get upset that I'm like, man, I couldn't go to that networking event. But then I go to my son's basketball game, and instead he scores a 3-pointers, and everybody's all screaming, and that's where I'm supposed to be.
It's those little moments that mean the most.
Yes.
The smallest little things.
Yes.
You know, it's like I called my son, and, you know, as soon as I found out, and I'm like, you know, just my thought went to my son. You know, it's like, wow, my son's like a fanatic on watching the sports. I'm like, I want to know how he's feeling, how I can make it better for him, and just telling him I love him and stuff like that. So it's, you know, every day I'm so grateful that we do this show together, and my son behind the camera. So thank you, love. You know, he knows I love him and everything. And then just, oh Lord, well, it's just it's hard, you know, once you think about, you know, your family and put your family first all the time. And stop bickering and stop, you know, bochinchando, you know. Gossip is good. It's good for the skin. But, you know, at the end of the night, you know, just be grateful and tell your loved ones you love them.
Love them, right.
Because you never know.
Yeah.
So let's move on, because...
let's definitely move on. So talking about gratefulness and friends and all the great things that we have in common. You know, talking about basketball again, and not in the sense of Kobe, but may he rest in peace, and that his family finds peace in all of this. I didn't go to my son's basketball game on Friday because we did a book club.
Yes.
And
we're friends.
We're friends. And we'll talk a little bit about the book club, but this is what I missed, everyone. So after his game, my son FaceTimed me while we were doing the book club, and he's like, "Mom, I gotta share this with you. I gotta tell you what happened." So he was playing, or they were playing the high school in Flossmoor, Illinois, and it was seconds. You know that those few seconds that are left, and you're like down by 3 points, and from a distance he threw the ball and made the basket. And he said that the entire gym went wild. Oh my God. Yeah. And see, these are the moments that I'm talking about how family is so important. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God. I was so proud and happy for him, and sad at the same time that I wasn't there. But he's like, I understand, Mommy. You said you were doing this book club. Blah, blah, blah. So I am going to be at his game today. But then Maricel and I and a group of other girls got together and did a book club, and Marisa has the book, and it's very interesting.
Yes, I do.
It's called
Beginner's Pluck.
Beginner's Pluck. And I started reading it because I do my due diligence, and we're all required to read a couple of chapters and present on it when we come back together again. And
we have homework on it.
We have homework. And the book is called Build Your Life of Purpose and Impact Now. And what's fascinating about this book is that I'll begin to share because my son hasn't started to read it.
You know what? I recommended it to my sister Tina, and she's on chapter 4.
I'm on chapter 4. So every night I make it a point
I will open it today, and I'll read some on it. So
it's really good. So it's simple, and what I love about the book is that she's speaking to you. It's in her wording. She has a degree in journalism, so she actually speaks to you with the way she prefaces the book. But every day in our life, we're always thinking about dreaming big, right? Dream big, dream big. You know, what does that mean? Dream big. You want the big house, you know, you want the big corporate job, you want the big, you know, whatever that is. But her approach to thinking big is to think small. Right? And it makes a lot of sense. So instead of trying to make 10 friends, right? And it's a similar example in the book, but not exactly this one. Make one friend.
Yeah.
Right? That's a small step, and that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely. It's like when the presentation of how this book came about, it was so interesting. And it's like, you know, I know it's going to be a page turner once I start reading it, because I'm like, you know, want to sit down in peace with my book and start reading. But when it was presented to us, it gave us a glimpse about it, and about thinking small, and then, you know, it grows. You know, it's like I
and what else?
Very excited.
What was the other thing that they're planning the book? The we're average. We are all average.
We're all
average people. And you know, when she puts it in there, the way she says it, We all are average, but going back to Friday, it was 6, 7 of us.
Yes.
And it was I've never done a book club before. And I thought a book club was, you come together, you get the book.
You get the book, exactly.
Talk about the rules, and then you go home. This was...
It was very, you know what, I was like, I didn't, like you said, we go to a book club, you get the book, you chit-chat, you come back, and you talk about the book. No, this was a check-in. Checking how you're feeling.
Yes.
And one question that was asked to me about, Mari, what do you do for self-care? And I was like,
that's right.
Well, you know, I get in trouble. I do online therapy, shopping, but everything's on sale. They're like, no, what do you do for self-care?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what you want me to say. It was like that anger management movie.
Yeah, but some questions that sometimes are hard to answer.
Exactly.
Right?
I didn't know what's my self-care. So then it got me to thinking, and you know, like some people get massages. And I think self-care for me, I figure it out, is like get some rest, sleep.
Yeah.
Well, I did that yesterday.
You and I have been talking about this a lot lately because I think for the holidays, you got the flu and you were sick, right? Then your grandson was sick, and then you were there. You didn't leave his side. You were either helping your daughter or being at the hospital with the baby. Then you started to relapse. You were starting to feel sick again. And I was telling you, Mari, your body is asking you to slow down.
Sleep.
And we don't honor that. Like, our bodies are temples, and we have to listen to it. So I, regularly 9 o'clock bedtime, lately I've been doing 10 because now I'm reading this book. But I know that on average I need 8 hours of sleep, where you tend to go and go and go and go and go. And one of the things about our bodies is as we begin to get older, and I don't mean like in the 60s, I think already in the mid 40s, right? Our body's already shifting to enter another decade of life, and we have to honor our body. And we don't have to be everywhere and do everything, but make it about you. Set those, and I don't want to say boundaries, but determine what's important to you.
Yes.
I say, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to be there. And the fact that you went to bed at 6 o'clock yesterday and you slept overnight, you look refreshed. Because last time
I feel refreshed.
Because compared to yourself to the last week's video, your eyes were puffy.
I did sleep in the hospital with Elijah for 3 days. It's like that. And then it did take a toll. I mean, looking back, because I'm being strong for my daughter. Absolutely. And being there for Elijah, So then when I leave and I have my moment of being by myself, then I break down. And then I'm like, who's comforting me? But I know God got my back. We got this, Elijah.
Well, I'm always here for you. And, as any mother would do for their children and their good children, you would be there. Like, I would drop everything in a heartbeat if a family member ended up in the hospital and they needed me there. I would be there. I would, there were times, when my dad was sick, I had my business. Or did I not have my business? No, he does. He did. I was working. But I had a very understanding boss at the time who allowed me to work from the hospital and be absent so I could be present with my father. Had she not been like that, I think I probably would have quit my job, because family, again, is very important. So with you, honoring yourself, and we want to do so much. Life is so full of so many fun things, but we also have to kind of slow it down and things like that. So we have to thank our dear friend Tamika Morales and Jenna Miranda, who put this together, because they were like teachers, because that's what they do for a profession.
And they did teach us a lot.
They taught us a lot. They did a PowerPoint presentation.
Yes.
They checked in on us. We each spent 5 minutes talking about
ourselves,
what Maddie said to ourselves. And I don't think I answered anything about self-care, but I think everyone's familiar with the kind of things I do and don't do. And then, we just sat there for 40 minutes. It was funny, but I was getting tired. Okay, so we didn't leave till 12:30. Was it 12:30? No, 11:30 in the morning.
Yeah, we got home around 12:30
in the morning. Okay, guys, book club. And we started at 6. So the last thing was the video, and Tamika says, we'll clean the kitchen when you guys just got the video. Like, okay, cool. So I see it, but my eyes are tired at this time.
Yo soy ciega, me quito el espejuelo.
And then I look, and I told the girl next to me, my friend Jeanette, and I said, is that 4 minutes or 40 minutes? And she's like, no, I think it's 4 minutes. And she's like, no, it's 40 minutes.
I'm all the way over here. 40 minutes. I'm the only smoker in the group, and I held it off to watch the video. And it's I loved the presentation. I loved everything about it, and I'm looking forward to my presentation. And as they were speaking, I already wrote down what I would do to present, because we have to do like a PowerPoint. We have to come up with something on a chapter that was assigned to us. And I'm very excited.
Me too. But it was funny, 40 minutes. And it was really good.
40 minutes?
This one gets up next to me. She's like, vámonos. I'm like, how am I going to leave? I'm like, this is my place. I'm hosting. She's like, vámonos.
So she gave me the look, and I'm like, okay, yo me siento. I guess I'll wait to smoke 40 more minutes.
So the other thing that was funny is that when they were giving us our so-called homework, right? Like how you're going to present your information. And the word says pluck, right? So I don't know. Sometimes I'm funny. Sometimes I'm not. I go to Jeanette, the girl next to me, and I said, why don't we just go to our farm and pluck a chicken? And she starts cracking up. And I guess it was the way I said it. And she was just like laughing and laughing while somebody was presenting. We were just like cracking up.
And I was like, shh. And they kept going and then I started visualizing, is the chicken going to be dead, or is it going to be running around us trying to pluck a chicken? And that's not a presentation. Don't bring no chicken. Jeanette, don't bring no chicken to pluck here.
Oh no, she was like, I know somebody who has a farm. Like, okay. Listen, when I was growing up in Puerto Rico, my grandparents lived in Agua Buenas, and they were very farm people. So our chicken, our eggs, our milk were all from the farm. But I was born and raised in Chicago, then moved to Puerto Rico. I wouldn't eat any of that. And they had to prove to me that chicken was frozen out of the freezer and the eggs was in a carton. So I'm not going to pluck a chicken. I will not pluck a chicken. It was just a moment of like silliness, because probably I was tired. But it won't happen again. But it was really fun, and I'm so happy that we're reading this book and looking forward to the outcome of this whole entire book.
Yeah, we'll have the information.
No.
Jacob will put the information so you can start reading with us and give us a feedback on how you feel about Beginner's Pluck. And what do you think about it? Give us a feedback. And how would you represent one of the chapters as a PowerPoint and stuff like that? So it'll be fun. It'll be like, we'll share it with all of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And don't forget, include your wine.
Yes. Yes.
Include some wine.
And Elizabeth was suggesting that, before bedtime, read an hour. And that's what I'm going to adapt. Either before I get up and start going with my daily routine, I think I'll do it in the morning.
Yes.
Get inspired and keep going. Because come the night, I take a shower and I'm like...
Yeah, and I can see that happening. So I sit up, though. Like, I took this. I took my planner. I had my highlighter. I had my pen. And actually, one chapter you read in not even 30 minutes. They're very short.
Oh, okay.
So even 30 minutes is fine, because then you can highlight and reflect on it. So I'm really enjoying it. I'm really excited. And this made me my new tradition, whereas I used to go to bed exactly 9 o'clock. So I can get up at 5, and maybe if I just did 8:30, I don't, just stay in bed for half an hour and do something enjoyable, something for us. I even felt important. I made coffee. I was like sipping my coffee.
You know what I do love? What I do love is my K-cup.
Yes.
I love K-cup. Whoever invented that, thank you.
I know.
Just love it. And then I have like this little tray in the bottom of the machine, and I just have different flavors. I'm like, which one do I feel like? Do I feel like Dunkin' Donuts or Cafe Bustelo? Because they got K-cup too.
Why use the little old thing la cafetera that our parents used to have?
No.
I use that for
That's
me.
out the window for me.
Well, I have a K-cup downstairs in my basement, caveman thing, but I think it got clogged.
Oh, okay.
Like the water doesn't come through, and I haven't YouTubed it to figure out how to clean it, because it still works. I know it's not broken. It's just sat there and we haven't used it for a while. But yeah, do it. Grab a cup of coffee, tu libro, and trust me, it will be. It's all worth. It's worth the fun. It's worth the fun.
And I think that's also in the category of self-care. Don't you think, or no? Because I kept saying stuff that I would do that I love to do, but it wasn't like self-care, like a massage. I'm not big on massages.
Oh my gosh, I love massage. I do them every month.
Yeah.
And I do it as part of my health. It's for health reasons. I mean, of course, it feels good, right? But when I herniated my disc years ago, one of the things that my chiropractor started doing was massages for me too in his practice. Dr. John Heyer in Frankfurt. He's amazing. And that would soften your tissues. And I kept that ritual of doing it once a month. And it feels awesome. And I can tell like how much I loosen up after I do it. And so I continue doing that. But yeah, anything that's self-care related, like in my house.
I thought shopping was self-care.
No. So it's self-care for the moment until you open your credit card statement. And then you're like,
and everything was on sale. Let me just say this. I went online, and at Macy's, they have, the one-day sale.
Yes.
So I went, for $35, I bought me the queen size bed, the bed sheet.
That's awesome.
$35, it says you have saved $123 because they are $200. So I felt good, and now I sleep in. Now I got 3 moda. ¿Cómo se llama moda? Like change.
Almohada.
No, like the sets. Now I got 3. I got the one you gave me, the white one, and now I have. It's like floral beige.
Nice.
It's really cute. So now I have 3 more.
I think we're gonna have to do a show off for bed again. How about that? Super Bar Sunday.
Oh yes, I'm so excited. You got these Latina women all hot.
Yes.
I can't wait.
Either.
I'm so proud of Jennifer Lopez.
I am too.
So proud of her. I mean, she's come a long way. No, it's like I always say, like I love her. But I cannot say, like, I love her singing because no. But, just trying and doing it and keep doing it, it's, like, amazing. She is a phenomenal performer.
Is. But wait till we see Shakira and her together.
Oh, my God.
That is going to be...
I don't think Jennifer Lopez is going to try to do that little hip thing with her. But if
they do... I think she can do it.
Oh, my God. That's going to... You know how Shakira with her hips...
So what do you think? Do you think they're going to come out and dance together, or they're going to do their separate thing somehow?
I think they're going to do separate things, and then they'll entwine, and then just do separate. Because they are phenomenal, but in their own little way. I don't know how they would do that. Probably a little shaking of the hips, and then...
I know. I was split in half just trying to do that.
Man, I think I got a little clamp right here, just going like that.
Well, I'm excited.
To show how out of shape I am.
Yeah, and you're invited. And you're coming over. So
yes,
we are so excited. I'm excited.
I'm excited. And the commercials are good too.
That's the thing. I was about to say it's not even about them too, because we watch it every year. But I love the commercials, and it's so much fun because people really get together and they have a lot of fun with it. And then a lot of them don't go to work the next day, which is not bueno. However, there is a petition that's going around to try to change the Super Bowl to Saturday on change.org.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well,
yes.
That sounds good.
Because think about it. Kids can't stay up. I remember my kids growing up, I wouldn't let them stay up until the end because they had school the next day and their bedtime was 9 o'clock, right? So they get excluded from having the fun. And then you probably get a whole lot of people get fired Monday morning because they don't show up to work.
A lot of people put in their request for the 3rd, because it's February 3rd, that Monday. But I am so blessed because I've been having Mondays off for so long. And 2020, my sisters and I, we all got together. We had a breakfast, which was amazing. Seeing where our business is growing, where we're weak at, and where we need to come together and make it stronger. Absolutely. So we just had that meeting, and I come out winning because I get Monday and Tuesdays off. Touchdown!
And that's huge, somebody said, because
yes, it is.
She's off on Mondays. I work on Mondays, right? But we tape on Monday, and we do it early because I have to get back to work. But the sacrifice that you make to be here on Monday, so it's like Monday said, is working 7 days a week, Monday through Saturdays at the restaurant. And then, Monday through Sunday. Tuesday through Sunday, and then Monday coming here.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And again, it goes back to self-care and how can we maximize
a dedication
our time?
Too. I really wanted and enjoyed this.
Yes.
And waking up early, Elizabeth. I get so much done. today we got up early. We're gonna do a couple stuff, and then we're ready to go home and relax. So,
Yeah.
and oh Lord, I'm so grateful for this 2020 new schedule. It's my first week doing it, so
And I encouraged her. She was like, "You're gonna have me wake up early." I think Maddie said you'd be surprised how much you can get done if you woke up early.
Man.
And when you started to get into that trend, you were like, she would. Maddie said would text me with a picture like, "Oh my gosh, here I am with my coffee," or she had gotten something done. And I'm a believer. Like I tell you, when on weekends, I love staying in bed. I open like my windows because it faces my backyard, and I like to see either the rain, what it is. But I do get upset with me, and I'm hard on myself if I get out of bed at 9 o'clock, because in my mind I start thinking, gosh, if I had woken up at 7, I would have 2 hours of the cleaning done, or 3 hours, and that's crazy because I should enjoy staying in bed, my bed, and I would love to wake up on a weekend and watch TV from my room, and I don't do any of that because in my mind, my brain's already, okay, you gotta mop, you gotta clean the bathrooms, you gotta do this, and when you have a big house, that's what happens, right? So don't buy big houses. Buy no more than $1,500. So your time is not spent on that, or hire someone to clean your house, which we don't.
Well, my weekend is Monday. My Saturday and Sunday is Monday and Tuesday now. So I get to like veg out, but you know what? I feel guilty. Like I belong somewhere.
No, you don't.
And I'm like, wait a minute, when is I don't have to go to work
because you don't know it. See, I think you're in the right track.
This weekend, Friday, we're going to be at Tito Rojas.
Hope to see you there.
Yes, come out and dance and mingle, and it's like the first event for us to go out, get dressed up, and go do some dancing, and little cocktails here and there.
I can't wait. I won't be cocktails, but the other events that are happening this weekend is Restaurant Week.
Yes.
I love Restaurant Week, and I love it, although I don't take advantage of it as I should. But this is an opportunity to visit restaurants that either you can't afford or you haven't been to. And they're prefix menus for $24 for lunch and $36 for dinner. Some places I believe have it at $44. But there are places like Boulevard right here on Lake Street that's expensive. I'm not sure about Maestro. You have to check it out. But it's a great place. It's a great time to go try some good foods, and it goes through the first week of February. And then on February 1st, there is a workshop called Self-Love.
Self-Love.
It's taking care of your body through healthy nutrition, but also financial health. And this is being put together by entrepreneur and dietitian Evie Ramirez and financial coach Blanca Sepulveda, and that's going to be held at 1910 South Highland Avenue in Lombard, Illinois, from 5 to 7. So if you don't have anything to do that day and you want some self-love
is also equals self-care.
Equals self-care. If you want to know how to budget your dollars, you may want to attend this event to get some financial coaching, and they have gifts, surprises, and snacks for you, and a book, also a free book that will help you maybe budget for 2020 and get out of debt that you're probably in, or create the wealth that you've been wanting and haven't done so yet.
Yes, and it's easy. It's easier than you think. Well, with that being said, save your money and invest wisely. Self-care. Watch the Super Bowl and
kindness and gratefulness.
Yes.
And have a great week.
And say I love you more often.
That's true. Love you.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Yay!
Oh Lord, we need an hour.